Ladies and gentlemen, finally we've been able to dealt a blow to the Sane Kundankas.
You need the glass?
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Fellow Gambians, I greet you all in the best of greetings. Assalamu alaikum. Once again, I'd like to apologize for the late start of the event. Better late than never. On behalf of the Gambia Moral Congress, and on my own behalf, I'd like to welcome all of you to this historic event. 2 days ago, precisely the 9th of October 2019, I submitted a notice of termination of my contract of appointment as a special advisor to the President. My contract of appointment requires both the Gambia government and myself to provide a month's notice for termination of appointment. I submitted this notice accordingly to the Permanent Secretary, Personnel Management Office in Banjul, which is the relevant government department that authored and signed the contract on behalf of the state, and copied to the Secretary General Office of the President. My role as Special Advisor to the President covers many sectors across government. And over the past 8 months, I was deeply involved in supporting the presidency with strategic thinking and informed decision making, specifically on policy matters and governance. My overall responsibilities included designing a strategy to achieve government-wide intersectoral coordination, policy harmonization, and performance delivery on key development priorities. Among others, these were the main issues that occupied my time at the State House over the past 8 months. I did not do this alone. I was supported by the team that I headed at the Department of Strategic Policy and Delivery. I made the decision to resign on my own accord and on my own terms, following thorough consultation and reflection with my immediate family and the leadership of my party in both the Gambia and in the diaspora. When I accepted my appointment of February 11, 2019, I did so with unconditional conviction to serve my country dispassionately, sincerely, with loyalty to the President and the state, by facilitating the steering of the rudder of the state towards the proper compass and in enthroning a culture of administrative efficiency, coordination, policy coherence, delivery on commitments, and accountable governance. Of particular interest to me was the acceleration of the security sector reform process, which was nearly moribund at the assumption of my duties in February this year. Under the President's directive, I led the completion of the first ever National Security Policy document as the chairperson of both the Technical Committee as well as the Steering Committee on Security Sector Reform prior to the localization of the Steering Committee from my office to the Ministry of Justice. Working closely with the Office of the National Security, I was actively involved in providing strategic direction for the formulation of national security strategy and national security sector reform strategy documents. On the 17th June 2019, exactly a week after the launching of the national security policy, I went to Kanilai for a retreat with the drafting team of these two vital documents. Both framework documents were progressing successfully prior to my withdrawal from the SSR Steering Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, security sector reform is very close to my heart. As the first post-Jammeh Minister of Internal Security, no one knows better than I the urgent need to transform the security sector. When we took over on February 1st, 2017, we inherited a security sector that was deeply politicized and not responsive to the needs of the citizenry. It was therefore necessary to initiate a robust reform process that would create a professional, accountable security sector loyal only to the Constitution, under democratic civilian control, with full respect for human rights and the fundamental principles of good governance. By divine coincidence, I returned to the office of the President this year in the capacity of Special Advisor to the President to complete the work I began on the security sector reform, then as Minister of Interior, by leading the completion of the National Security Policy document and getting it officially launched by the President himself on the 10th of June this year at this very hotel. You will recall that the Gambia government first launched the SSR project on the 12th of September 2017 during my tenure as the Minister of Interior. The policy intent was aimed at positioning the Gambia to successfully confront the security challenges of the 21st century and serving the needs of a democratic society. Though I ceased working on the SSR months ago, I am convinced that the SSR process will ultimately succeed in spite of its current slow pace, because failure is not an option. The fellow Gambians, over the past 5 months, pursuant to directives from the President, I led efforts at reforming the culture of conducting government affairs at the office of the President, culminating in the approval by the President of the creation of a Department of Strategic Policy and Delivery under the office of the President. Since May this year, or rather since April this year, this department, directly under my supervision, by virtue of its innovative and transformative role, has quickly become the state's most important nerve center of governance. The Department of Strategic Policy and Delivery, with the approval of the President, also concretized the idea of a National Economic Council that regularly meets and updates the highest office with timely policy issues impacting national priorities, and also acts as solutions incubator, information sharing on best practices, as well as charting the way forward. I am thankful to President Barrow for creating a conducive atmosphere to enable my team and I to perform our mandate without obstructive tendencies, for his readiness to accept new ideas, and for the general aspects to brief him on important policy and government national issues daily. Now I invite you to listen carefully. I would like to share with the Gambians. I would like to share this with the Gambians. The 10th of next month, November 2019, will be exactly 2 years since I left the Ministry of Interior. When I was appointed Interior Minister on February 1st, 2017, there were no handing over notes and no proper strategy direction in terms of policy. The ministry was not in a good shape. With the help of my team, the Permanent Secretary at the time, Mr. Bulli Diba, the rest of the administrative cadre, and my service chiefs at the time, we were able to transform the ministry and restore respectability in law enforcement as a profession, including their on-the-job self-confidence, while lifting their morale as well as substantially enhancing their operational efficiency. We were able to achieve this because we worked as a team. While I provided the strategic vision, our team adopted a practical approach to achieving strong internal security stability without prejudice to respect for personal liberty of citizens. I ordered the arrest of the junglers, and now they are facing trial at the Banjul High Court. Realizing at the time that some of the dangerous fugitives had already escaped jurisdiction, and the appreciation of the Gambia's geopolitical realities, it was important to have strong security partnership with the sister Republic of Senegal, build confidence between our two internal security chiefs and operatives for effective common border protection, intelligence sharing, and other sensitive policing issues. To achieve this, and with the approval of the President, I initiated contacts with my Senegalese counterpart at the time, Interior Minister Abdoulaye Daouda Diallo, and led a powerful delegation comprising the top echelon of my ministry and satellite agencies to reinforce security cooperation between our two countries. Following his deployment to another ministry, that is the former Interior Minister Abdoulaye Daouda Diallo, I made a quick trip to Dakar again to meet his successor, the current Interior Minister, Mr. Ali Ngunjai, one, to build trust, and two, to secure new assurances on our existing bilateral security cooperation. At home, we curb crime, restore stability, and rein on criminals, delinquents, and maintain law and order. However, our success was limited. The goal to build a reformed internal security apparatus, well equipped, reoriented, and highly motivated, and one that is second to none in Africa, is yet to be achieved. With changing dynamics of crime and crime syndicates, we need to strengthen our intelligence capabilities, protect our citizens, and also protect our borders. Simply put, we must invest in security if we want a safe, stable, peaceful, and democratic Gambia. I remain committed to ensuring the safety of all Gambians, both in their homes and in the streets. I want to use this occasion to thank all the men and women in uniform of the Gambia Police Force, the Gambia Immigration Department, the Gambia Prison Service, the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services, and the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Fellow Gambians, 2017, the immediate aftermath of the historic political change, was a very difficult year. And with the team we had, we achieved tangible results. I am convinced that the actions we took at the time to restore and to maintain internal security were necessary. I want to also use this opportunity to express regret if actions of law enforcement agencies under my ministerial supervision at the time led to unintended consequences, if any. I was the minister, the buck stopped at my desk, and therefore I will assume full singular responsibility for all my directives translated into action by security operatives under my leadership. It is unfair, immoral, and evil to betray your men and women in uniform for following orders or shifting blame when things go wrong. I had always assured my security chiefs of my political protection and administrative support in the event of any fallout arising out of my directives as minister. I always tell them, put it on my head. Having said that, this country should be proud of the many law enforcement officers who sacrifice so much each day for less pay under very difficult circumstances and without basic tools at all, not even a simple walkie-talkie for them to communicate to each other. Not even a simple walkie-talkie can the police use to communicate to other police in other stations. And with all these deficiencies, every day they are on the beat. We ought to be grateful to them, and where they fell short in their operational activities, it is largely because we have not provided them with the tools they need to get the job done. Let me also use this occasion to address the long-standing issue of Fonyi. Immediately following the impasse, the area that posed serious internal security threat, based on intelligence information available to me at the time, was Fonyi. This was quite understandable because it was the most formidable stronghold of the former president, with staunch revulsion against the new government. The priority of the government at the time was to establish its authority all over the country, restore stability, law and order, and as a security minister, I had to make sure this was achieved. And I would not permit any part of the Gambia or any area of Gambian soil to be a law unto itself. Few areas that exhibited signs of civil disobedience at the time, at that volatile period, were quickly pacified, but Fonyi presented a persistent challenge. With the approval of the president, I ordered the deployment of additional intelligence assets to the area with a view to containing the threat. I also ordered a temporary deployment of armed police units to quell multiple disturbances raging in different areas of Fonyi, including Kadilai. Remember, barely 3 kilometers away from the border are rebel camps. Barely 3 kilometers away from the border, we have rebel camps. And with our porous borders and easy movement of people, it was almost impossible to differentiate a normal person from a rebel who often move about in civilian clothes. The protection of the state and our new citizens was so vital that we could not afford to take chances. I also visited Fonyi a few times as minister during those sensitive and volatile periods against security advice, because I believed it was necessary to directly engage the communities if we were serious about reconciliation and pacification. Let me point out certain facts. Some young persons as young as 14 and 15 were arrested while participating at civil disturbances and detained. This very fact was unknown to me at the time. When it was brought to my attention by the Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta and verified by my operatives, I immediately ordered for their processing and release from detention, or where charged be brought before the courts without delay. I maintained an informal line of communication with the Honorable Fabakary Jatta, who appeared at the time to be the liaison. And two, the death of Haruna Jatta on the 3rd of June 2017 was unfortunate and deeply regrettable, without prejudice to the principle of collective responsibility in cabinet. Security operatives under my ministry were not involved in circumstances that resulted to the unfortunate consequences. The armed force belonged to the Ministry of Defense and not the Ministry of Interior. So those soldiers were not under my ministry or subject to my control and supervision at the time. My ministry got involved after the incident to contain the crisis and to restore law and order in the area. This will always invariably involve some arrest, detention, and prosecution of those suspected of crimes. And now to the famous traditional weapons, referred to in my speech on the fateful night. Remember, I was in Monrovia attending an ECOWAS conference, and I cut short my trip to return home that same day and was briefed that evening. The information I shared with the nation on television about the crisis was intelligence provided to me by relevant institutions, and I had no reasons or other means at the time to disbelieve Joint Service Intelligence brief of the state. An unlawful demand for the total withdrawal of security forces from Fonyi, accompanied by riotous conduct at the time, was provocative. With hindsight, I do believe we could have better handled the situation in spite of the complex security circumstances at the time. For this reason, I hereby unreservedly apologize to the people of Fonyi for any unfortunate experience they may have encountered during those volatile periods on my own behalf and that of my operatives at the time. The apology repeated here was first made during my maiden appearance at the National Assembly in 2017. And now, to the reasons for my resignation. I made a personal commitment when I was appointed that the day I do not feel challenged, I will leave. I no longer feel challenged, and also I do not feel being useful as special advisor to the president anymore. And so there is no need to continue. As simple as that. My relations with the president at the personal level remain strong. We have been friends for over 30 years. Over 30 years. It's not 30 days. He's known my family, I've known his family. And this afternoon, if I intend to have lunch at the president's residence, I just need to call Fatimata or Sadio and order them to cook my favorite dish. And they will cook it, and I'll enjoy it with the president. So we have that personal friendship, and I cherish that very much. At the political level, I am the leader of a political party. I am responsible to my constituents, the members of GMC. I owe them every obligation because they, and they alone, are my constituency in terms of partisan politics. At a larger scale, all Gambians. Our party has been growing. And it was my party itself that resisted my return to government. I carried them along with me. And I promised them we will do our best to change the trajectory. If we cannot, we would have tried our best. But I do not quit. I do my best and my utmost best. At the office of the president, I serve the president diligently. I help to transform the way business is done. But as a special advisor, I no longer find myself useful in that role anymore. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what next for Mai Fatty? Let me assure you, I'm not going away. I will remain very relevant in the political life of this country. I will continue to strengthen my political party base to make it one of the strongest and the most viable in Gambian history. We will get back with those who are not happy for one reason or the other. And I'm calling on GMC members who are not happy because I returned to government to return home because I am back home. That you are my family. We've been through a lot over the past 2 decades. We've invested a lot of money. We've invested a lot of our time. And we suffered too much together as a party. We are one family. We belong to each other. I'm calling all of them to come back. Let us rebuild our party and make it ready to take up that monumental task that awaits us down below the valley. And so, what awaits our party is greatness. And for me, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will continue to work to build our country, to build our institutions, not using confrontational techniques, but using cooperation, collaboration, and teamwork within GMC, with other political parties, specifically with the government. I am calling on all GMC supporters to continue to support the development priorities of the state. There is no confrontation between me and President Barrow. And I know the Gambia Rumo Mill is very active, and they will look for everything to say. They were fighting, they had a difference. He was forced out. No. Femman Dunnim President Otema. There is nothing wrong between me and my friend President Barrow. I feel that I have not been useful in this role lately, and there is no point in staying on when you feel you are no longer useful. And that is the only reason. It's a matter of principle. Simple. But nothing happened at State House. There was no fighting and no argument. And suddenly, the president remains my friend. And I want this to be understood. We are not involved in confrontational politics. And for the umpteenth time again, nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. I resigned on grounds of principle that I can no longer serve because I did not find my service useful. That's all. And I'm going back. I am a lawyer by profession. I will be working from my law firm. I will be working on different things. Among the clients I'll be servicing are numerous, both national and international. And also I'll be involved in government liaison. I will also travel the country, in and out, to reach out to Gambians, to find out what their aspirations are, to connect with our people, to cry together, to walk together, to laugh together, to smile together. This is the country we own. This is the country I love. This is the country I risk my life for. This is the country I am living for. And these are the people I love, the best people on earth, the best country that there can be for me and for every Gambian. So my desire now is for all of us to work together, bridge our differences as Gambians. Let us work together on advancing the national objective. Let us diminish our excessive partisanship and look at the bigger picture, the Gambian project. Where do we want our country to be the next decade? Where do we want our country to be? Are we going to continue bickering, or are we going to make the Gambia one of the best on the continent in terms of job creation, in terms of macroeconomic stability, in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of infrastructure? Where are we taking our country forward? That should be the crucial issue that should occupy the mind of every Gambian. And I know we belong to different political parties, but we all belong to one Gambia. We will never agree on everything, but we can agree on some things. So those elements that we agree on, the common convergence factors, let us materialize them into effect. And those areas where we disagree, let us do so in perpetuation of the Gambian conversation, a Gambian family conversation, and not an acrimonious diatribe across the nation. And I'm calling on my supporters, both in GMC and outside, to shun the politics of insult and to be wary of your words on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and other social media. Let us be agents of unity. Let us try to bring understanding among our leaders and among our supporters. We have only one country, and that is the Gambia. No other country is like the Gambia for us. And if we put this Gambia into flames, you will not have a country to go to. You will be a foreigner everywhere on earth. You will require residence permit, you will require immigration regulations, and you will no longer feel natural. This is your country, and you must cherish its stability and security. For those of us who believe that my resignation has anything to do with the 3 years job now, you are making a mistake. I am not part of that, and my party is not part of it. It has nothing to do with that. I want to make it abundantly clear, because nowadays people connect dots that are unconnectable. So I will make it very clear that it is a matter of principle, and I will not be out in the streets on a 3-year agenda. I will not be. Those who want to, is their constitutional right to disagree, and I will uphold and support their right to protest. They must be allowed to protest. They must. Nobody can deny the right from them. If they deny the right from me, I'll be the first to go to court to defend them. And I'm sending that notice out. But those who do not also believe in that principle are Gambians, and they have a right to their conviction. For me, what is important is that this country must remain peaceful and stable. And so, anything that will achieve that, I am on board. And anything that will upset that, I am a tiger and a lion against. It's not going to happen. We will not support it, and like minds will come together to make sure this country remains calm and peaceful, so that we can develop. We are tired of people are homeless in some instances. We have so many young people, thousands of young people unemployed. We just about experience perhaps the worst story season coming with all these things that is happening. The economy needs to recover. Educational system is deplorable. We have decaying infrastructure. The healthcare system is nothing to write home about. We have a nation to build. Let us focus on building that nation. That is my mission from now till the day you will take me to the grave. And that's going to be a long time. So GMC militants across the country, get ready. I am coming your way. We are going to transform this country working in cooperation and in solidarity with other political parties who are not our adversaries, who are only our compatriots, who see a different perspective, different from ours. So we are enemies to none, and we are ready to work with every political grouping that means well for this country, while remaining our independence and sovereignty as a political party. We are on no side. We are only on the side of the Gambia. We favor no one, and we hold proxy for no one. We maintain strictly our independence, and we are going to grow our party, and you, Gambian people, will witness it, because you will come towards us. Hope is where GMC lives. Hope is where GMC lives. The future belongs to GMC, and your future must be invested wisely, and the best dividend you can have will be provided by GMC.
Correct.
And I call all Gambians to come and join us, and we will continue to work with the government, not as an opposition. We are not an opposition. We built this government. This government could not have been created without my presence, with all humility. My presence, I mean GMC's presence, with all humility. We did everything humanly possible to bring about this dispensation. We fought for years in the diaspora. We invested, we knocked on every single door that could be knocked in the international community. We spent tons and tons of money working with others, with competitors around the country. So, we brought about the change. Your change, you cannot be a contrarian to that change. No. But if you do not approve of the manner in which your change is being implemented, you have a right to demand rectification. And that is the issue. I want to thank all of you for listening, and I am very grateful to you for coming. I want to thank His Excellency the President for the opportunity to serve my country twice. As Interior Minister, where I believe my record speaks for itself. And now as Special Advisor to the President, where I believe my record also speaks for itself. And now we are back in business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We all had it together, and we are allowed to ask only 3 questions from the journalists. Only 3. Yes, Keba Kamara.
Mai Fatty. Can I speak in Manika? Is it okay?
Oh yes, it's perfectly okay.
Okay. Tomu Kiaba Kamarati, the Dopola King FM Radio. Idiamta, Iko Imunda Party to Gandunga, Ela concentrate la party like a Mafia for Kabri, but a part Kabri, Itala President's advisor for GMC party in the Faka and Wula de la Family. Kabri even in Preston Yamaraka, advisor. Benjamin for 3 years, Jotna, 5 years. Don't go 5 years, don't go 3 years. Man, pele Yamar for the Preston, Prinasi, in Akataka, Yamar, advice 3 years, Jotna Pola, Yamar Guna. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Abarika baki keba. Ila nyinkar la ba mbeda tila wala, mbada tila wala. Ndenga president wa Yamari menna. Kumo men tambitante ni president tema. Ala viso kono State House. Omu kuloleti nteme wanyari la. Obisela odulale to. nim president ko ku kacana do ko kono do ko sarto man sembo dinte la ngofo folo fula njango nini mobe nyobulu alla kolbe nyokolo lanno baltema wala no wato kono a jikite la ka kuma jamale foy lanno letina ka foy ku keda nyaawo nya imanya na fisir wala yala wala noy hani ti nyaaro keta ye ku kala muta lanno wato kono la wonyanta tla lanno le kono manya na finte la banta wala muslime da jikoti wodon nga so nim president on fo gambe ngol albala hakulu tane ndo fola fo nim president ya fo de o ay yamay pour ngafo kadung ay bunya place ole dinna pour nga kala yamar lati yamaro ni moatele tati amanke mo ko tati nga yamari menna fanan fo abarata la fo amam barala o bentena de ning alala tema abi danna wala to alala bo kito kuntula bari men tambitan tema lanno wato kono kullo kono nte may farita fese wallahi wala fanata yake de la ni ngar flan jango wala nyinti ko fonna patio le fakan hani aman tara fakan bari asembo talata bo fana mo tonyaleti kabrin tata man sakunda patio sembo talata baki katung folo sembo talata ni detna min tole ndela pati dungol fon le kam fala e kon kana mburu man sakunda e kon kana muru a cojo wala ta banko kan dol kam fata wol ko bayi tay be muruna woto non dol ngemuda menti manke woto ben kodila dol bodo je wol sayda koma bari bi ngalo ne ko mon be yorita koma e nim bari bale bo munna nan ko tanke kadum may fadi mem kuluti o may fadi kilo wala mbiti ndebu ka dajo tupi nga new tonya anin telo be dame ndewle so tonyale mo napatio namu masakunda ay napatio afekle ha ay afek ken tonyale mo anu ay niyo ko yabake napati dul ko ngamuru ngan napatio doku andu mo e karakilo ngita e karakilo mo andu no karakilo ne masoro ndek mala wala na GMC de mbayalti ila kuma ko ngalla mo yalale ye même fo nyenu bari ko ko ale ngata nga nyato jube ibulata noma sa en fana be mbulele tol noma dina mo leti abaraka
Thank you.
Go ahead. You can only.
Okay, my name is Sally. Okay, my name is Sally Joe from Kirfatu. My question is, Famata Jaro Tambajang in her interview said you were always invited to coalition talks, but you decided not to respond. She find that dishonest on your part. What's your reaction to that? And what is GMC's position on the extension of the president's mandate by the coalition partners?
With all due respect, I'm not going to bandy words with Anti-Fatmata Tambajang. It's very clear. I want her to prove evidence that she did communicate it to me, and I was involved in the picture. She adopted an exclusionary tactic by preventing us. My representatives to the coalition discussions are here. It's Alhaji Sidibe and Tida Kijera. These are my representatives. None of them had ever received a phone call from Madam Tambajang about any of the meetings. And she called me last night. Last night she called me. She got me on the phone. We were on the phone for about 15 to 20 minutes. She got me on the phone because she called me. And I accepted that, and I answered her call. If she had called me earlier on, just like she did last night, it would have been brought to my attention. But I am not a member of the coalition discussion team because I have representatives. And it is those representatives who should brief me about what is happening there. If they have not been invited, how would I get the invitation? Madam Tambajang knows my office. She knows the GMC Political Bureau, the Secretariat on Karaba Avenue. It's well known. I want her to produce a single letter that was sent to GMC informing us about the meetings. One single letter that was delivered from her to my office. One. I put her on the challenge to produce it. I can tell you, till the cows come home, she will never be able to produce it because it never happened. And I told her this last night. And she said, well, I use WhatsApp. I told her, madam, You were the former vice president of this country. Coalition is the bedrock of this government. Do you run a government on WhatsApp? You are saying you're sending WhatsApp messages, an important matter like this? Do you run coalition affairs on WhatsApp? That is for my kids, my teenage kids and others who run their stuff on that. Or political parties that the people can talk and express their views. A serious matter of a coalition, of extending the mandate of a president, WhatsApp? I was disappointed, and I told her last night on the phone. I said, Madam, I'm disappointed you telling me that WhatsApp is your means of communicating, coalition matters. I have not heard anything. So if she said it was dishonest on my part, I don't know what description to give her.
All right, that other question is
on the issue of the 3 years or the 5 years. Yeah. I think it has been very clear. I've dealt with this matter over and over again, and again I'm not going to flog a dead horse. Another issue. I'm done with this. Over. For good. I'm not involved in the 3 years, 5 years. Those who are involved, good luck. I'm out of it. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Amadou Barry from E-Media and Star TV. Thank you very much. If you allow me, maybe I put it in Wolof. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Wax nga ne si wàllum 3 years bi ak 5 years yi bokkuloo ci waaye nag xam nañ ne bokk nga si coalition bu fal président Adama Barrow te keroog bu coalition bi waxee ne dañu yokkalaat 5 years parti président Adama Barrow dégg neen waa UDP ñu wax si dégg neen itam waa doy ñu wax si waaye dégguñ la nga wax si te ji nii yow it nga resign nga tekki sa ndombal tànk si government bi fi nga doon liggéey ñu bëgg rek xam te ji sa taxawaay lan la ndax ànd nga ak 5 years si boo si àndul tamit wone woo ko wala tey jii nii ban taxawaay nga si am yow ak sa parti lan mooy sa ëllëg lan mooy sa gis-gis si nguur bi. Thank you very much.
jërëjëf gis nga waxtaan bi li ma ci wax doy na li ma ci wax past 3 years 2.5 years doy na man dama sonna si affaire yi 3 years 5 years bi xanaa loolu rek am si réew mi am nañ suñ school si nekkuñ di dox tali yi baaxuñ amuñ courant half of the country amuñ ndox nit ñaa ngi feebar di dee amuñ garab lu leen di fajee réew mi am na yeneen soxla dimbale leen ñu si ñetti at juróomi at naa leen liggéey suñu réew mi man dama sonna te dama naa si 3 years 5 years bi man li ma ñor mooy liggéey réew mi atala ñu liggéey réew mi man loolu moo ma ñor fu mu nekk nii loolu la ma Kër Fatou laaj question boobu lañ ma laaj yow same question bi nga nekk di ma laaj as far as I'm concerned the 3 years 5 years is not going to drive this country. What is going to drive this country is the industry of Gambians suñu liggéey atala ñu takka suñu digga ñu liggéey suñu réew mi loolu mooy soxali réew mi loolu moo war a nekk suñu soxla 3 years 5 years bi président bi lan la waxoon mu ne du wàcca 3 years 5 years la moo dem 5 years la moo dem kan moo am doole ne yow dangaa dem si tali bi nga wàccee ko ndax noonu la dee xewee lan la loi bi wax constitution bi 5 years la wax ñun léegi loolu des na si président ñetti at lañ waxoon bokk naa ci ñetti at lañ d'accord 3 years lañ agree si ñetti at boobu jeexee président bi dafa wàcca te moom du bokkaat si élection moom si boppam wax na ko laameñam besoo na jël ngeen vidéo yi ngeen tasaaroo ko si social media yëpp wax na ko léegi su 3 years bi jotee mu ne du wàcca président moo wax ne dina wàcca moo wax ne du wàcca mu ngi dem 5 years wax bi jeex na mooy wax bi léegi man lu soo suma yoon si loolu lan laa si mun loolu leen bugga ma wax suma gars ñu dem si tali bi ñu xee non GMC stay behind. We have time to build our country. We don't have time for confrontation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, mbokk yi. maa ngi leen nuyu honorable. Suma question bi moo nekk ne maa ngi liggéey from Gambian Talents TV. Suma question bi moo nekk right now ñun media bi ndaw yi rawatina ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk si biir dëkk bi ñëpp a jaxasoo. lan moo indi jaxase bi moo nekk yéen political parties yi mbete yéen leaders yi. ku jóg indi press conference ku jóg mu wax ak askan bi waaye kii su ñëwee ne resign nag keneen ne bàyyiwuma right now suma question bi moo nekk ne yow sa resignation bi ndax wax nga ko président Adama Barrow parce que nga ne sa xarit la lan mooy tontu Adama Barrow parce que fii rek kuréel gannaaw lay féetee borom jamono ji ñu ngi si very hard moment Gambia so ndax yow sa resignation bi is at the right time foog nga ne moo ko defee parce que nga ne has nothing to do with 3 years ñu bari nag di ne it has something to do with 3 years beneen bi moo nekk APRC ñu bari si fóoni bi ñu namba ne yaa indi problème bi yëpp foog nga ne yow war ngaa dem fóoni nga apologize si gars yi nga baalu aha daan si press conference bi mbete it nga consult APRC face à face kon naka la ko gars yi di ko dee waxee jàkkaarloo gën waxtaan jërëjëf.
maa ngi laa gërëm bu baax si sa questions laajte bu am solo la laajte force laajte bi mooy tontu waxoon naa ko suma wax fii lépp lu jaar suma diggante ak président bi suma diggante ak moom la li ma ko wax li ma ko waxut du soxla kenn ñun ñaar la def ma jël pour man ne may koo yëdda he took me personally as his advisor it's not personally it's not advice to anybody else to him so li ma ko wax ak li ma ko waxut loolu kenn du ko déggal suma làmmiñ man waxoon naa ko fii te amul benn façon ngi laajte bu mun a dindi loolu that remains where it is as to APRC ak foo ñu bari wax nañ nit ñi mënu la leen ku nekk ak sal ak làmmiñam la ku nekk ak làmmiñam la ku nekk ak xelam la kum nekk nga wax kum nekk nga noppi waaye man awma joti loolu nekkuma fii di tontu wax bu nekk déedéet nekkuma fi am naa leneen lu gën a am solo loolu soo na waxkat yi wax ñun ñi nga xam ne ñun ñooy defkat yi nañ def loolu mooy àdduna soo des na suñu as APRC yi def ma leen dara musuma leen a def dara lépp li ma def ci biir liggéey laa ko def ak xol bu set pour suma réew ak askan bi man nag loolu moom si kooti yàlla laa ko yóbbu du kooti doomi aadama ndax doomi aadama mënumaa fay mënumaa def lu ma waroon a nekk lu yàlla wax si man rek mooy am so dema dara fooñi pour apologize ndax def ma lu bon dama ne ci suma speech leeral naa ko ma ne suñ doxin bi am na liñ ko mënoon a def mu gën a rafet because manki na man gom naa ne mënoon nañ ko def in a better way but because we have not achieved that better way I am apologizing for that but I have not done anything to Fonyi def ma leen dara if anything Fonyi amul any better advocate than I waaye am na ñoo xam ne for political reasons dinañ ma tuumal dinañ wax lu leen neex xam nga politique rek dafa salte mun ngaa ne ko gën a rafet juddu ñu dëkkal la fu tilim loolu mooy politique rek loolu sonalut ma kon bu mu sonal kenn ku mu sonal moom if you think the kitchen is hot just get out of the kitchen for me it's just the right temperature and I'm enjoying it thank you.
Okay,
that's the last question.
Pamodu Boja Home Digital FM member Kevin yenen kar kula dron ne bempul bari yenen kar member kula sia ngalo ne moy bina sofa na sika kaja bari la kamil nan na may wala jenti ko wato mi yan ko president Barrow e bondi as minister of interior ite famonata media to le koy malo dalilo mi asabo aye bondi andi bela filale kala ando ngalo ne ko amanke president kam forcé na momin bondi pro ay fita ko nyin dalil le asabo na bondi bari banko mini yalo ko advanced ni mo bondi mo la interest lo korea along dalilo mini asabo mari bota hani atra constitution madi andi fanam famaya kanene wato dori ko ilafta lon na dalilol bi asabu ye bon yo wo dalilol man fo bi nata je ye murundi ita famu nate fonyo bi nin kumbe bi kacala wala mu ila fonyoti bare yimon kuma fonye dalilol to mi asabu ye fonyo ye mim doron ko wala mu nyinti ko yamira kunu ila yamaro le na faso to le bare bi ila nam yamaro man na faso
mo fo de
sorry bi kunela na ya let's say kunela yamaro useful time bare bi yaade ko ila yamarul moy useful
ma wofo kana bulen da ko ma wofo
let's say ko école bi yaade le miya sa be resign da wolo ima useful anymore as advisor to the president.
I do not find I do not find myself useful.
You do not find yourself useful as advisor to the president. But Biria Palazzo Tano in the beginning, you found yourself useful.
No. Pa mo fa
no getting caro, I can't get in caro.
Okay, so I let you in caro.
Biria Palazzo Tano, Yale Palazzo Tale, Karijamale Keji.
Ha.
For what to ye from useful, near ye from useful, more useful nesty. And then be from the useful fire sabu dalilola resigned. So lefita wolona lenia treso oponye. Number 1. Number 2, these 3 years agreement. Ngalo ne ko ma lefika po. Andum maybe nanjine karo be useful useless le ita jabila. But maybe de wolom nyete ko being la hidul betala collective responsibility long altul belenata as a coalition al agreta 3 years la andum ali wole wafi molia sai nana da flat biara soto mi alon kali alondi o ma fa famo en content be sida le for 3 years ngati bar coalition wala agreement wala woti sai ni bi sida tol be ko ndol man kansoto do be mim fola alto mune fola mole again because atol bele fittita ñola to mando bi modo e carte fay president baroy amon president baro e tela kole ya sabo aya faya so nit bi sita to lokal datiji an ka mune fo banko mole ñina mun dilika
abarika ila ñini ngaro fana betata mbeten tula kam nga ku kilin soto e ka fme ado ani sharia ado o sotota ado sotota sharia o sotota adung abele katama ado katama le sharia fana katama kodi kaduna adol mu menti wala mun tolte ngam bulan na adol normal bari sharia fa mambe kering men wala bota alaya kodi andu ngena fata ko e ko ning ado ni sharia kumbenta ila ko man keno kilinti ika ado le tankundi e sharia tamande fa fo de tonyati yo bari fa mo sonta wala ko wala tonyati ndolla agreemento wala adoti president wala sanji lulo me akabe sila wala sharia ni ñul fulo ka fata ñoma ado di aran toli nyawonya barabe sembere sere yo nyinala de kuno raje kenna ko mola ila ni ngaro bandale sai mela sai jabiro le tonte bulu sai itala ko mo bandale ngela mo le yela mo yela damo fo batu ngan na jabiro fo fana yela mo sai ha so wala mun na jabiro ti ibe nyim men fo kan 3 years 5 years na karola ya nyim men fo mbota masakunda fo na usefulness ngawo jabile folo ko I don't feel challenge kadu kabrim bitaje amang kumpa gambia dun la ko ntela parti mol GMC niya tala sidula kemeti kansa be ko kanata majority manson wala mtonyati tonyala kadu ndara audio to akeda nyoso ba jamati nge dani ibalanta bari sonta makadu yembunya ko ila alfa ndara je ngela ide nyina la ko ndesila fo nga foko banko mantara taka nyama nga ala dani banko etinya saja adam baro si ji ndol nga sele santo nko kon tani hasdi ala ndel data woto ndol la politiko manke hasdi yato ndol mantara ala dani kan adam baro e fail kadu o manke adam baro la failoti wo banko la failolati ali nga tonya fo nyoy so nambije nko na pati dum ko alimbula ngata masakunda ngaka fama na ali amira masakunda mantara takukan nim fota je tumodo asiki alal ma ko ro kan nataroje masukunda sitaku o ben dol bele tankala bari luwolu ni nga kalmata ko nte tuno la je be findilale wolu na sita wala nak mo jabote abarika ala barika thank you very much.
One more question please. Star FM radio Omar Tunga. Yeah, dama la bëggoon laaj na su dee President Adama Barrow dafa la offerwaat again pour nga delluwaat si nguur pour nga liggéey ak moom ndax di nga delluwaat because danga ne bi nga demee ëpp doole sa parti bi ànduñ ci loolu dafa waa wàññi doole sa parti bi ndax di nga delluwaat foofu even though dafa wàññi sa parti bi ndax bu dee delluwaat loo liggéeyal jiite sa parti bi moo la gën a liggéeyal sa thank you.
Sa question boobu noonu du laajte kàllaama la te d'accord ma si ànduma ci sa question li mu firinde mooy man dama bàyyi government because dama bëgg a liggéeyal suma parti That is not true. I want to say you are categorically wrong. Bàyyi ma government pour dem liggéey suma parti bi suma reason bi leer na nañ bu ko kenn jël na nga fakkatali ko déedéet. What I have said is straightforward. Stick to that. Li nga wax sa waxi boppa la sa lante boppa la dañ ko bëgg a yóbbu feneen waaye man waxuma loolu de li nga wax waxuma ko de yow yaa ko waxal sa boppa man joxe naa suma reason lu tax ma génna maa ngi léegi laa ko répéter pour pas dégg ko ñëpp dégg nañ ko fii soo léegi nag loolu la foofu laa mun a tontu foofu laa mun a em jërëjëf.
All right, that's come to the end of the press conference. We thank everybody for attending the press conference.